Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. They go play action here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people. Catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Now a carry for Bernard. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got to vote. I've got to vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield.
Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case,
and this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Coming off of 9 sacks in his 6th Pro Bowl is Geno Atkins, who's an absolute force inside. Not only does he have the ability to wreck a running game because he's able to take out not just one, but often 2 blockers, his inside presence and ability to rush the passer makes things very difficult for opposing offenses.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They'll give it to him up the middle. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The Steelers, of course, had all the questions lingering with Le'Veon Bell. Tip of the cap to James Conner. He really has filled in nicely.
He prepared himself as if he were going to be the starter right from week 1. And I got to see him in preseason, and you saw a little bit of everything. His ability to run inside, also run to the perimeter, catch the ball out of the backfield. And how about his season opener against Cleveland? They didn't win the game, but he played awfully well, 135 yards rushing, and he helped close out a big win at Tampa Bay in week 3 on Monday Night Football with some nice runs down the stretch.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now it's Roethlisberger. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney. Now let's go. Green.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man is Uzama. A big play there on the catch and run. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big...
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Finding room to the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just made. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
He completes it to Boyd. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they are in a fight for the AFC North, a fight for their playoff lives, but if they find themselves playing in January, they might look back to that Week 15 win over New England as really the thing that got them over the top.
And remember, that stopped a 3-game losing streak. And when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers fighting for their lives to go to the playoffs, they fought in that game against New England, got off the deck, and they came out swinging and played really, really well. So if they go down, qualify for the playoffs, win the AFC North, and if they're dangerous, that will be the game. I agree with you totally.
It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, some news that gave us a chuckle, and we could all use that around the holiday season. Josh Johnson, a great story. He was back home in Oakland when the Redskins called to see if he'd like to join him for the remainder of the season. So how did he get to know his new teammates? Well, what did he do? He turned to the Madden game, Charles.
Yeah, and that's how you learn who they are, right? Learn what they do, have some tendencies, get some ideas about their speed and what they do well and maybe what they don't do so well. And it really helped him acclimate and got himself a big victory in Week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about the bloodline of Josh Johnson, though? Also related to Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders and Marcus Peters of the Los Angeles Rams.
Pretty good company. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Roethlisberger will hand the counter. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Bengals have recovered it.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here we go now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a little floater there is incomplete. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Jesse Bates, the rookie safety, his first pick in the league. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Here we go.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to throw now on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's a give to Mixon. And an alley to run. Space to run past the 20. And a cutback. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Again, it's Connor. And an alley to run. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. That good for 19 at a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 1st downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's James. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On third and goal, Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Boswell good with the extra point. And it's now 17-14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. First down, he'll drop to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Back now in Pittsburgh. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. So they took a shot there on third down. Couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On third down, it's Connor, and he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Connor. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Now it's Connor. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's a former 1,000-yard rusher. It's Stephen Ridley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Time for a break. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
All right, let's go get it now.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3 and 8.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Now let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 47. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
I do know that Joe Hayden was used to winning a lot of games at the University of Florida. And when it comes time for a big play in a big situation, he wants to be that guy, and he just pulled it off.
Yeah, he pulled it off indeed. A huge interception to help put this game on ice. And he's got this down to the 35. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll run it here. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Well, this one provided some good drama down to the very end. That last kickoff return, for a moment thought he might break it, but in the end, they get the tackle and stop the drama.
You were starting to have more fun, weren't you?
Well, I was starting to stand up.
Yeah, you were into that one. Who knew? We thought maybe they might get that miracle finish that they were looking for. Didn't quite get it done.
So for the Steelers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6 and 10. And I think you have to say ultimately this was a team that really underachieved. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.